All right, what's up guys? Welcome to a brand new video. Today we're going to be going over my most anticipated games for 2025. I have 18 games here that I'm going to talk about. A few of them I just talked about recently in my top games for February or whatever, so I won't go too in detail on them. But really exciting year, a lot of great stuff coming out, and this is going to be mainly single player games, a couple MMOs in there and stuff like that, but mainly single player games, not any sports games or anything like that. Obviously I'd have the PGA game in here then, but yeah, we're just going over like the games that I'll probably play on like the Hound channel here. So let's jump in and let's talk about these 18 games. Now these are all games that have a release window for 2025. Some of them may get pushed into 2026 potentially, I don't know. A lot of them don't have like official release dates yet, and I'm sure there'll be some games that I forgot about, and maybe even potentially games that get announced after this video that I'm definitely going to be really excited about coming out in 2025. But anyway, let's do this thing. We're going to start with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, I did talk about this game in my recent February video. Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. I'm actually going to be away when the game comes out. I'm going to be in the USA, but Kingdom Come Deliverance is coming out on the 4th of February. I'm coming back on the 6th, so I'll probably just get into it pretty much immediately when I'm back. But this is a thrilling story-driven action RPG with a rich open world set in the 15th century medieval Europe. Now, this game looks absolutely incredible. I love the look of the combat. They put up a trailer recently as well where it was like Henry kind of switching from combat to the bedroom with a woman and stuff, and it was such a cool trailer the way they did it, with the music that was playing, everything. I just think that this game has so much hype for me right now. I really enjoyed the first one, but I feel like the second one could be light years even ahead of the first one, and that's something that really excites me. I think they learned a lot from the first game, and I definitely get, as I mentioned in the February video, like I get Witcher vibes, to be honest. Like, it just feels like it's going to be that kind of game, and that excites me greatly. Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games ever, honestly. I know this is obviously much more grounded and realistic, but still, just the world, the kind of feeling that you get from it is what excites me about Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. But yeah, this comes out February 4th. Let me know if you're going to be playing this one. I 100% am. Unfortunately, I'll have to wait till I'm back. I would play it on Steam Deck or something, but I think I definitely want to have this experience be on PlayStation 5 Pro, and maybe doing a part one of video. I'd love to make this into a series. I'll be late or whatever, but that's okay. You can't be on time for every game. You know, it might not get the views maybe if you're late with it, but I definitely want to play this one for a video anyway, at least a part one, and see if you guys are interested, because I'm 100% all the way interested. And then next game up is the game number 2. We're not going in any like order of excitement. I'm just going first in order of release date. Maybe I should go in order of excitement, but now I've just said Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and honestly, I'm probably most excited for that one. So let me try and... I'm going to try and arrange the rest of the games, the 17 games. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be out when this video drops anyway, probably, or close to coming out. So that one we won't put in the order, but that is definitely one of my most anticipated. And now I'm going to go and rank and order these games in order of most excited. All right, so I'm going to go in order of most, or least excited to most excited. So we're going to start with number 17, and game number 17 here is Avowed. Avowed is one that's coming out pretty soon. It's coming out this month, so 18th of February, Avowed will be in our hands. And yeah, I've as I said in the February video as well, I've kind of had like a mixed relationship with this game so far. At first, I was like, that doesn't really look that good, and then they show another trailer, and I'm like, actually, it does look kind of good. And then I'm like, does it? Does it not? I don't know, but definitely kind of eager to get hands-on and just get a feeling for the game myself. Of course, it'll be on Game Pass, so I'll try it that way and see what it's like and give it a chance for myself. But Obsidian Entertainment are no strangers to making a game like this, so I think I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. I think that it could end up being a really fun RPG, and maybe more contained than the likes of like an Oblivion or a Skyrim or something like that. Maybe a little bit more contained than that, which I like, because I don't like how bloated and long games are getting. And I know I said Witcher 3 is one of my favorite games of all time, but I don't feel like every game needs to be like that, you know? Like, I feel like every game is going in the direction of, oh my god, this is 80 hours long, it's the biggest world ever. I'm like, I'm honestly, for now, every time I hear that now, it's honestly more of a turn off than a turn on for me. But yeah, Avowed is kind of more of like a contained one, I would assume, in a similar way to like the Outer Worlds, which I didn't click with the Outer Worlds, but I want to give it another shot. I do have it downloaded at the moment. I want to try out the Outer Wilds, not the Outer Wilds, the Outer Worlds again, because I feel like it could be one of those games where you don't get into it the first time and then you try again and you get into it, because that happened to me with Fallout New Vegas. I really enjoyed Fallout New Vegas second time around. Fallout 3 as well. Like, for some reason the Fallout games just didn't click with me first time, so maybe it's something similar with the Outer Worlds. I give it a try, and maybe Avowed will be something similar. I'll have to give it a couple of goes, who knows, but I'm definitely going to try it and give it a go. A fantasy action RPG, if you don't know. I'm sure that you do, and if you didn't, you'll have seen the gameplay up on the screen anyway. That'll tell you. So this one's coming out 18th of February 2025, and we will move on to game number 16 now. Game number 16 is Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. So this is obviously a remake of the third game. Now, I have pretty much next to zero experience with Metal Gear Solid. I tried Metal Gear Solid 5, and honestly, I really enjoyed the first hour, like the wackiness and the craziness of it, and then I got out into the open world, and it just didn't click with me. Another one of those games maybe that I should give another shot, because my friend Tyler, he absolutely loves this game, and I feel like if I could kind of get back into the Metal Gear Solid franchise through this, maybe I can go and play some of the other ones and enjoy them a little bit more. But I really like the trailer for Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I thought it looks really cool, and this is like the origin story of Snake as well, so I think that'll be a pretty cool thing to experience, and could be maybe a good entryway for me into the franchise. We don't have an exact release date for this yet, but we have to assume that it'll probably be coming relatively soon, like I would say before the end of summer, definitely, because I feel like we've been waiting for a release date on this one for a while now and we haven't got it. But yeah, that's all I have to say on Metal Gear Solid. As I said, I don't know too much, but I'm definitely excited to kind of maybe get into this franchise a little bit. So yeah, that's game number 16, Metal Gear Solid. We're going to jump in to game number 15 now, which is an MMO. Now, I am kind of an MMO person. I know a lot of people aren't. I love World of Warcraft. I've been playing World of Warcraft since I was a young boy. I was playing World of Warcraft back when I was in bloody school. So I played way too much of World of Warcraft when I was younger, though. I got to a point where I didn't go outside. I just stayed home. Like the South Park episode of World of Warcraft, that was me. Not that extreme, of course, but I had to give it up completely for like 4 years, and now I just go back and play it every now and then. The only time I play it is with my friend Mihal. We just kind of go in there and give it a bash every now and then, but I don't really play it that often. And I definitely have played other MMOs since then as well. I played New World for about 30 hours. I played a lot of those MMOs that were on PS5. I gave them like a quick go, but Dune Awakening is really appealing to me because I love the Dune franchise. Like, I love the movies. Never read the books. I've heard they're great, but I love the two movies. Phenomenal, especially the second one. The second one was just absolutely unreal. And I've watched a few of Force Gaming's videos about this game, and I don't think like it looks astounding or anything, but I do think that with a lot of work and love, if this game gets it could end up being something special, because Dune just has the potential of being an epic MMO. I feel like with the world and the creatures. Arrakis is such a cool place, and yeah, this is like a multiplayer survival game on a massive scale is what they call it. You survive the sandstorm, craft your ornithopter, build a fortress, and ascend to power on an open world Arrakis shared with hundreds of other players. And I do think that sounds quite appealing, to be honest. And yeah, as I said, the Dune world is really intriguing to me, and I think that this could end up being something cool. Now, we don't have an exact release date for this yet either, but I will be checking it out on launch 100% just to give it a go and see what it's like. Maybe play with a couple of friends. Mihal's a big fan of Dune actually as well, so we might have to check this MMO out together. I think that could end up being, we could even make some content. I've never done any videos with him, but I think honestly that would be hilarious. Honestly, people trying to understand Mihal might be the biggest issue, though. Big, thick Northern Irish accent on him. With a name like Mihal, what could you expect? Anyway, let's go in to game number 14. And game number 14 is another one that's coming out this month here in February. It's Tomb Raider 4 to 6 Remastered. So I played through the 1 to 3 remasters, and I fell in love with them, honestly. I fell in love and I fell in hate. I hated them for certain parts, but it's so satisfying when you actually do eventually get it right as well. I feel like it's so cool to actually get through these games. games, like you feel a sense of accomplishment and pride when you beat them, and that's something that only like these old school games can give you, I feel like. And yeah, Tomb Raider, I went through like a massive binge session of the Tomb Raider games. We played through 1 to 3 remastered. We played through the reboots in their entirety on the channel here. I played through Tomb Raider Legend. I played through half of Tomb Raider Anniversary before I rage quit. Probably more than half, actually, 3/4 before I rage quit. I feel like I just needed a break. A lot of people were like, you gotta finish it. I needed a break before the 4 to 6 remasters come out, and I know they're meant to be really difficult as well. I feel like I was just a little bit burnt out on Tomb Raider, but I am really excited to get into a couple of Tomb Raider games that I've never played, because I think that I really enjoy playing these on the channel. I think people really enjoy watching them, and I think that this is going to be a really, really good time. We'll have 3 games to play through now here on Tomb Raider. A lot of games coming in February, man, that I'm excited for. I don't know if I'm going to even be able to handle all of them, but I'm definitely going to give Tomb Raider a shot, and we're going to jump into the next game here as well. So that's number 14, coming out on the 14th of February on Valentine's Day. So we'll have a little Valentine's meeting with Lara Croft. But anyway, my girlfriend won't be too happy. I'm just going to keep that on the deal. But either way, let's jump in to the next game. Game number 13 is called Atomfall. So this is one that I've had my eye on for quite some time. It's just interested me. I don't know, honestly, too much about it. I haven't looked too in depth to it, but I'll give you a quick synopsis here of what they say the game is about. So Atomfall, there's a nuclear disaster that has left an area of Britain in tatters. This new survival action game will see you explore, scavenge, craft, barter, and fight your way through beautifully recreated scenery in search of answers. So yeah, it's kind of like a survival game, which I'm not usually super into, but I just kind of like the vibe of this one. I thought it looked really cool. This is coming out March 27th, by the way. It does have an official release date right now. Yeah, I think it sounds and looks cool. Like there's going to be, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Stalker game that came out recently. It seems like it's similar enough to that, at least. But yeah, I think it looks cool. And the idea of like a Britain in tatters, I feel like is a cool idea for a setting for a game. So it's something that I'm kind of intrigued by more than excited for, I would say that. But I'm definitely going to check it out and see what it's like. We got this game coming out in March. It's not too far away. And another one that I'm definitely going to kind of, it's more one that I'm intrigued for than excited about. You know, I do think it looks cool, but I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to vibe with it. So I thought we'd say, oh shit, I'm playing a video there. I didn't realize. But yeah, Atomfall, that's game number 13. Let's move on. Game number 12 here, the Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra game. Now, I'm not a huge Marvel guy. I do specifically love Captain America and the Captain America movies. I really, really enjoy The Winter Soldier. Phenomenal movie. But I wasn't like as into Marvel as I was DC. I was much more into DC. And I still would say that I am. I prefer like Batman, Superman to Iron Man and stuff like that. But Captain America is one that I've always like had an affinity with. I don't know why. I love Chris Evans, and I just feel like he was such a badass with that shield or whatever. But this one particularly interests me because Amy Hennig is the lead designer on it, and Amy Hennig has a big part in my favorite franchise of all time, Uncharted. So she was one of the Uncharted directors back in the day, and I think that this game, from the trailers that we've seen, definitely has a vibe about it where it's like, this looks like it's going to be cinematic, it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be really, really cool story-wise and gameplay-wise. So yeah, it's something that definitely interests me. So it's a partnership between Skydance Games and Amy Hennig, and they are kind of gonna create an original Marvel story, which sounds intriguing, sounds interesting. I definitely think that gives them a little bit more freedom to do what they want with this game, and I think that overall it's going to be like maybe a 20-25 hour story game, which those are kind of my favorite kind of games, and I'm interested to see how Captain America and Black Panther get on at the helm here. But should be a good one. Keep an eye out for this one. It's coming out sometime in 2025. We don't have an official release date yet, but I'm excited about this one. All right, before we get into the top 10, we're going to start off with number 11 here. This game is coming on the 20th of March 2025, and that is Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I know there's been quite a bit of controversy around this game. I'm just blocking out the noise with this game and going into it like I would with any other Assassin's Creed game. So I've been a huge fan fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise since its inception. Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood are my two favorite Assassin's Creed games, and Assassin's Creed 2 honestly would be up there probably in my top 20 favorite games of all time. I absolutely love the Ezio the Auditore storyline, and I did kind of go off Assassin's Creed when they went to this new direction, this RPG direction. Origins, I played it, I enjoyed it. I tried to get into the next one after it. I can't remember what the Greek one, I can't remember what the Odyssey. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, did not like Odyssey at all. I just could not get used to that being an Assassin's Creed game. I did get back into it for Valhalla, and I will say I enjoyed Valhalla, even though it's kind of the same complaints as Odyssey. I do think that Valhalla, like the Vikings there, that got me, being born in Norway and all. I just had that kind of that feeling that the Vikings one was going to be really badass, and it was in a lot of ways. I think it was really, really cool, and they kept in touch with the Assassin's Creed connection there as well, with the hidden ones or whatever, which was a cool way to do it. The storyline was really interesting. I do think the game was a little too long. It kind of was long in the tooth in certain parts. I don't think it needed to be as long as it was. I don't think it needed to be as big as it was. And the problem I have with those new directions for those games is they make you grind to even get to where you want to be in the storyline. Like, you can't mainline it if you want to. You have to kind of grind and do these other things, which I think is really, really silly, because you shouldn't block someone off from playing the game the way they want to play it. Now, in Valhalla, I was happy to do it because a lot of the side stuff, including the stuff in Valhalla, was really, really cool. But in Odyssey, that was a big problem for me. I just couldn't get into the overall kind of layout of the game, and that ended up being an issue for me. But Shadows is going to feudal Japan, which is what people have wanted for a very, very long time out of Assassin's Creed. Maybe it's a little too late, and it does seem like people aren't really as excited as you'd expect them to be. I think it has a lot to do with the controversy around the game, but as I said, I'm just going to keep that noise out and go in with an open mind and play the game and try and enjoy the game. Now, I do think the idea is decent. Maybe they didn't go about it in the right way, but I do think the idea is decent. I do think Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be a good game. I mean, they haven't really made like a bad game, you know? Even though Odyssey wasn't my cup of tea, it was still very highly rated. People loved it. And I think Assassin's Creed Shadows will be the same thing. And I think Ubisoft needed to be good as well, because they have definitely had a rough couple of years, you'll say, and they are in trouble by the sounds of things. So they need Assassin's Creed, their big franchise, to be the one that pulls them out of the hole here. And I think that's kind of why they've delayed it a few times, is they want this game to be as perfect as humanly possible here. So now let's jump in to the top 10 here. We're going to kick off the top 10 with Mafia: The Old Country. So I really enjoyed the Mafia games. I played them recently enough. I will say that with the remasters or whatever, the Mafia Definitive Edition, the remake of the first game, was absolutely epic. I really enjoyed Mafia 2 as well, and Mafia 3 I thought was good. I feel like, again, specifically the first 3 hours were good, and then when it got into like the open-ended sections, I felt like it was just a little bit too, I don't know, it was a little boring in the open world, Mafia 3, I felt. So hopefully Mafia: The Old Country kind of goes back to its roots here, a little bit more linear, and the actual theme of it does sound cool though. So I'll read a little short synopsis here. It says, uncover the origins of organized crime in Mafia: The Old Country, a gritty mob story set in the brutal underworlds of 1900 Sicily. Fight to survive as Enzo Favara in this immersive third-person action adventure coming summer 2025. So I mean, yeah, that's pretty cool. We're going to 1900 Sicily. I think that does sound pretty awesome. We're going to uncover a merciless world of organized crime. We're basically playing out a classic mob movie, is what it says. We're the anti-hero in this story as well, which I think is cool. And it does sound like they're kind of going back more to that cinematic linear game, which I appreciate. So yeah, it seems like it's going to be really authentic to the time period, and that's pretty cool. I like the sounds of it. I'm definitely excited for it, and it's coming out summer 2025. Not too far away. All right, number 9 is Like a Dragon Pirate in Yakuza. This is coming out the 20th of February. I talked about this quite a bit in the February video that I did, so I'm not going to mention too much about it, but playing as Goro Majima on a ship with pirates around, it just seems like a really badass time. Yeah, I mean, I love the Yakuza games. It's again one of those things where I do think like the Yakuza games could be maybe 80%, 70% as long as they are and still be too long. Like they just go on and on and on, and I feel like they end up repeating a lot of the same things in the story. So I hope that this one is not like as long as Like a Dragon and Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Like I feel like this could stand to reason to be quite a bit shorter, and that's not to say like to take out the mini games and stuff like that. I'm talking about the actual core main story. I feel like if they went for like a more of a 20-hour one, I feel like that would be a lot better. But yeah, Like a Dragon rather, coming out this month as well. Like I said, a lot of games coming out this month, and I'm majorly into the Yakuza franchise at the moment, so excited for this one. Majima as a legendary character and playing as him for the first time since Yakuza 0 is going to be really, really cool. Maybe you played it as him in some of the other ones as well. I'm trying to think. I don't know. Either way, let's jump into number 8, which is Fable. So Fable is coming out sometime this year. Not exactly sure when, but it is coming out in 2025. Now, I feel like we haven't really heard much from Fable in a while now. I really enjoyed the Fable games of old, and this one I think has the potential to be really, really cool. So Playground Games made the Forza Horizon games, and they made a phenomenal open world. Obviously, it's completely different to do it with an action RPG type game like open world compared to a racing game, but we know they can make a beautiful world. But now, can they make that beautiful story and beautiful characters that all connect together in a meaningful way? And that's something that I'm kind of curious on. I am pretty excited for Fable. We haven't heard much about it. Maybe it comes out 2025, maybe it doesn't. I hope it does. I feel like they announced this game way too early, and that was its biggest issue, really, is just that they announced the game way too early. Like, they did not need to announce it that far in advance. But overall, pretty excited about the game, and it's a new beginning for the legendary franchise. It doesn't really have much of a synopsis here. They don't really have much information on the game at all, but hopefully we learn more about Fable soon and learn more about the release date / window as well. The next game we're going to talk about is Ghost of Yotai. So again, a little bit of controversy around this because there's a female lead. Oh no. I mean, I get it, because like I feel like there's not been, like, PlayStation has been doing like pretty much all female leads recently, but it's like, come on, it's not that big of a deal. I think people were upset about losing Jin Sakai. I never thought Jin Sakai was like this unbelievable great character. I thought he was good. He was a good protagonist, but he's not like a Nathan Drake or a Joel Miller, you know, where you can't lose him. Ironic. But Ghosts of Yotai, I think I like the idea of them going through different parts of history and kind of different storylines. Now, I get why people wouldn't like that, because a lot of people like kind of keeping the same storyline, keeping that linearity, but I like the idea of kind of going through different time periods in this Ghost franchise, being different characters in different time periods like that. Kind of gives them a little bit more leeway, and you can learn about more wars, learn more about the history. I think the aspect of that is cool. But of course, Sucker Punch making a new action adventure game here, Ghost of Yotai, following on from Ghost of Tsushima. I really like Ghost of Tsushima. I won't say it was one of my favorite games on PS4. I wasn't like as hot on it as maybe some people were. Like, I prefer the God of Wars, the Uncharted, the Horizons of the world, but I do think that Ghost of Tsushima is awesome, and I think Ghost of Yotai will be great as well. Now, this one centers around the theme of underdog vengeance. The story is set in Hokkaido, Japan in 1603, 329 years after the events of Ghost of Tsushima. So a big time jump. Players will take control of Atsu, a female warrior who adapts the persona of the Ghost at the dawn of the Edo period. Developers have claimed that players will have more control over Atsu's narrative and choices compared to Ghost of Tsushima. So that's interesting. We kind of can shape her story a little bit more than we could in Ghost of Tsushima. It's not going to be as linear. I think like the branching choices and stuff will be interesting to see how they implement that. But Ghost of Yotai is coming sometime 2025. We don't have an exact release date. It's going to be exciting. I love the combat in Ghost of Tsushima. I love the graphics. I love the way they make things work with the wind. I think it's really cool. But we're going to move on to game number 6 now. Before we move into the top 5, we're talking about Crimson Desert. So this game, I think, looks awesome. So this is from the same developers that made Black Desert Online. They were going to make a sequel to that, I think, called Crimson Desert. It was going to be an MMO, but they decided at some point to change it to an open world RPG, and I think definitely much the better for it. This game looks incredible. Whether it can actually live up to how it looks is another story, but like the trailers that they've shown, this game genuinely looks like it could be top tier. Like, it looks so otherworldly, I'll say. And it does say it's set in the beautiful yet brutal continent of Pywell. Discover adventure, uncover wonders, and experience thrilling action as you witness the saga surrounding Cliff, leader of the Greymanes, whose mission takes him on an incredible journey. So this is made by Pearl Abyss, but yeah, it does say that you can discover adventure, explore exciting locations, and fight thrilling battles as you travel across an incredible open world filled with wonder and mystery. It looks so cool, like the way to traverse the world. Even you have mounts, you have horses, you have dragons. I mean, it just looks like a game that almost too good to be true, and that's why I'm a little bit apprehensive I don't have it higher. I think this game looks almost too good to be true, but we'll see. Maybe it's not too good to be true. Maybe it's going to be epic, and I hope that it is. All right, next up is, of course, GTA 6. So, I've never been, like, as big of a fan of GTA as, say, other people, but I do think that GTA 6 is going to be incredible. Like, it's going to push the boundaries of gaming forward in the way that we want it to. Of course, you're going to play as a female and a male together. I think the idea of it is cool. We're going to head to the state of Leonardo, home to the neon-soaked streets of Vice City and beyond, in the biggest, most immersive evolution of the franchise yet. So, I've played GTA, most of them. I've played most of the GTAs. GTA 5 I thought was good. I never like fell in love with it, as I said, as much as other people did. I went back and played GTA 4 recently, and I will say I definitely preferred GTA 4. I preferred the tone of it. I preferred the humor in GTA 4 compared to GTA 5. Overall, just loved the characters in GTA 4 as well, and even the DLCs in GTA 4 were just absolutely incredible. I would say GTA 4 and GTA San Andreas are my two favorite GTA games, but I never had them up there as like my favorite games of all time. I know people like adore this franchise with their whole heart. I was never like that invested, and don't get me wrong, I really enjoy the games. I'm just not like one of those diehards that thinks GTA is the greatest games ever. And I can understand why people feel that way, but for me, I don't feel that way personally, is what I'm trying to say. But GTA 6 has the potential to be one of the best games objectively in human history, just because of the power of GTA, the power of this franchise. GTA 5 is one of the biggest and best games ever, and it's like a titan of the industry. And I think that, of course, this has a lot of it has big shoes to fill, let's say that much. It's gonna be a lot of pressure riding on this game. But yeah, number 5, GTA 6 rather, coming sometime in 2025. I think I saw rumors that it could potentially be coming in September, and every release date is gonna move the hell out of September because no one wants to go up against GTA 6. But anyway, next up is Death Stranding 2 on the beach. So Death Stranding, I had a love-hate relationship with Death Stranding. I absolutely adored and loved the story and the characters. I thought it was incredible. It was weird. It was wacky. BB was such a BB, and just the characters in this game were phenomenal. Lou, of course. But yeah, Hideo Kojima just has a weird brain, man. But it just somehow works every time. And I love his games. Well, I love this game at least. I love Death Stranding. And there was parts of it I didn't like. I'm going to be completely honest about that. There was the gameplay didn't really click with me in the way it did with other people. Like I found a lot of it mundane and boring. But there was parts of it where you would feel alive, and I get the loop of it, but I didn't love it. But Death Stranding 2, with like building on Death Stranding, I feel like has the potential to just be absolutely incredible. And I do think there's going to be more action in Death Stranding 2. Not that I need action for this game to be successful. I just think the gameplay aspect of Death Stranding 2 is going to be more interesting compared to Death Stranding. The story is going to follow on with these characters, these incredible characters, and that's something that is just really, really exciting, honestly. Yeah, I just can't wait to see how they progress and how they evolve the story in Death Stranding 2, because I feel like Death Stranding did kind of come full circle and didn't need a sequel. So I feel like at first I was like, I don't really want a sequel for this game. I feel like they would need to justify it, but I think that Kojima, if he feels like he has a plan for the game, I think that there's gonna be room for a sequel here. It's gonna be epic, and this is coming sometime in 2025. The trailers that we've seen so far have just been absolutely crazy, bonkers. The guitar villain just looks absolutely sick. Troy Baker is gonna do a phenomenal job as the villain again, no doubt. But Death Stranding 2 is my number 4 game on this list. We're gonna jump into number 3 now, which is Judas. So Judas is coming in 2025 at some point. We don't know exactly when, but I just am really, really excited about this. So Ken Levine, obviously the lead director on BioShock and BioShock Infinite, is doing this, and I love BioShock and BioShock Infinite. I mean, I actually think, hot take, BioShock Infinite I think is my favorite BioShock game. Now, I played BioShock way after it came out, so I think it stands to reason that I liked the newer one a little bit more. I feel like it just held up a little bit better to me. But if I played BioShock when it came out, I can completely understand. And I do think it holds up, don't get me wrong. I still think it was incredible. I had an amazing time with it, but I absolutely loved Infinite. I loved the story in Infinite. I loved the vibe. The vibe in the original BioShock is just unmatched as well, though. It's like the tension, you could cut the tension in the room with a knife. It's just absolutely brilliant. But Judas, of course, has those same vibes. It does look very, very BioShock-like. I've watched a couple interviews of Ken Levine. I watched Ken Levine on Sacred Symbols with Colin Moriarty. Colin Moriarty seems to think this is a BioShock game. Ken Levine said that's not the case. It's not linked to BioShock at all, but it definitely has those same vibes. You can tell he's not fully done with that world, I guess. But the quick synopsis for the game here is: a disintegrating starship, a desperate escape plan. You are the mysterious and troubled Judas. Your only hope for survival is to make or break alliances with your worst enemies. Will you work together to fix what you broke, or will you leave it burn? So yeah, I think it sounds pretty damn awesome. We don't know too much about the game yet. We've only seen brief trailers, but it definitely captures the vibe of a BioShock-like game, and it's something that really excites me. I love, like, as I said, I love story games like this. I really do. So let's move into my my top two here. So next up is Clair Obscure Expedition 33. So you can lead the members of Expedition 33 on their quest to destroy the Paintress so that she can never paint death again. Explore a world of wonders inspired by Belle Epoque France, and battle unique enemies in this turn-based RPG with real-time mechanics. So when I first saw this game, I thought it looked absolutely incredible. The more I look into it, the more excited I get. It's coming in April as well. It's not too far away, the 24th of April, 2025. This is developed by Sandfall Interactive, published by Kepler Interactive, and I just think it's very exciting. I'm going to go through a little bit of what they say about the game on Steam here. Year by year, she erases us. So this is talking about the Paintress, of course. Once a year, the Paintress wakes up and paints upon her monolith, paints her cursed number, and everyone of that age turns to smoke and fades away. Year by year, that number ticks down and more of us are erased. Tomorrow she'll wake and paint 33, and tomorrow we depart on our final mission. Destroy the Paintress so she can never paint death again. We are Expedition 33. Explore a fantasy world inspired by Belle Epoque France in which you battle devastating enemies. So the combat is turn-based, but I feel like it looks really, really fun. They talk about how it's reactive turn-based combat. There's a hauntingly beautiful world, and you'll see that in the trailers. The world looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to get hands-on with this game. It doesn't really look too much like any other games I've played in the past. It looks unique, and that's something that really attracts me to it. And next up, we are going to talk about the game that I'm most excited for in 2025. I don't know, man. Joseph Fares, he's just got that sauce. Hazelight Studios and Joseph Fares are bringing Split Fiction to life here on the 6th of March 2025, and boy, am I excited. I just think that these games have a charm to them like no other. Like they just do. A Way Out, It Takes Two, two of my favorite co-op games ever, and they're both done by Joseph Fares. Split Fiction looks incredible. You play as two female characters, and honestly, this game looks like it just has every genre in one. Like you're going through, sliding through on top of dragons, and then you're you're kind of like fighting robots. You're fighting big creatures, that look like trees and monkeys, and you're just doing all sorts in this game, and it looks like incredible high action fun. I'll kind of read a little excerpt from the game here, but it says, embrace mind-blowing moments as you're pulled deep into the many worlds of Split Fiction, a boundary-pushing co-op action-adventure from the studio behind 2021 Game of the Year winner It Takes Two. Mio and Zoe are contrasting writers. One writes sci-fi and the other writes fantasy, who become trapped in their own stories, and after being hooked up to a machine designed to steal their creative ideas, they'll have to rely on each other to break free with their memories intact, working together to master a variety of abilities and overcome diverse challenges while jumping between sci-fi and fantasy worlds in this unexpected tale of friendship. So I do think that idea of kind of switching between sci-fi and fantasy is so cool. I love sci-fi and fantasy personally, so it's going to be a dream come true for me. And Joseph Fares, as I said, he just has that level of aura that any game that Joseph Fares comes out with, I'm all the way in already. I don't even need to see it, but now having seen it, I'm even more excited. Split Fiction is not that far away either. I'm definitely going to be playing this day one as soon as I possibly can. Yeah, it's just over a month away, so March, it really isn't that far away at all. So this one is coming in hot. I'm very excited for it. Let me know if you're going to play this with a friend, and yeah, let me know what games from this list excite you the most. I am very intrigued for the year ahead. Thank you so much for the support, really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys soon. It's been a pleasure to serve you all. Let me know, as I said, what games you're most excited for, and I'll see you for a lot of these games on the channel throughout the year. Peace out, friends.